Good evening. Welcome to the third annual Tech Fellow Awards. I want to thank you for letting me be here, participate in this evening with you. I don't think all of you honestly understand how out of place I am here. I mean that quite sincerely. It's kind of an occupational hazard I've encountered in the past few years since taking on this role in the Big Bang Theory. This is not the first invitation I've received to go to an event that I'm somewhat ill-suited for. I once had the pleasure of introducing Nobel Prize-winning physicist George Smoot at an event before he spoke. All this because I play a character who is also a physicist and a genius to boot. I am neither, if you can't tell. The science class was in fact the only class I ever actually failed while I'm not an absolute dunce, I do have to admit that I learn all the science phrases that I speak on our show. I memorize them the same way that the group ABBA learned to sing in English. It's phonetics. It's a muscle memory trick. I often speak at Comic-Con, again because I play a character who is obsessed with graphic novels, superheroes, comics. I know nothing more of comics than Kathy or Calvin and Hobbes. Even Doonesbury was too confusing for me at times. And I elicited a shocked gasp from a crowd of 2,000 when I finally had to admit at Comic-Con that I had never actually seen an episode of Star Trek. And then I'm so sorry. And I actually don't know even like I never know if I'm supposed to be in or out, when I do the hand signal, which I don't know what it even means. I apologize to all of you. I'm sure somebody here likes them too. So it is tonight. I have the privilege of speaking here at the Tech Awards, and regarding technology, my knowledge is limited to a few key facts. I know that the character I play on TV uses a PC. I use a Mac at home, and the only difference between the two for me is that I think the Mac's prettier. No offense, PC people. I just joined Facebook in the last year. I now have 40 friends. Which is frankly as much as I'm going to be able to handle. I joined Twitter around the same time. I have no followers, and I have tweeted under a pseudonym 7 times, all to politicians and athletes when I wanted to congratulate them or say something uplifting after a loss. And yet despite all of this, I'm here with you, the most tech-savvy people of all, and I'm very grateful. I probably won't know what the hell most of you are talking about tonight, but I will listen very carefully, and I may even be able to parrot back a phrase or two. I have a very good memory. So, all that said, the Tech Fellow Awards honor 20 individuals nominated by their peers for their outstanding achievements in one of 4 critical areas of entrepreneurship: general management, disruptive innovation, product design and marketing, and engineering. For each of the 4 award categories tonight, 5 Tech Fellow Awards will be presented. To be fair, I'm being asked to ask that everyone hold their applause until all the winners have been named. I always find that offensive to hear, so I apologize. It's not from my heart. Tonight we recognize the men and women who are revolutionizing the way we live, work, play, and communicate. And I promise that whatever new and exciting platforms are created by the bright minds in this room, the rest of us will populate them with videos of sneezing kittens and dancing babies. Tonight's winners will join an exclusive club. They will be only the 3rd class admitted to the fellowship. And while this fellowship sadly does not involve Frodo, the winners will share among them the ability to invest over $2 million to help build the next generation of startup success. In all sincerity, this event honors those creative individuals who display true courage in pushing the envelope, breaking barriers, and believing in the genius of their own ideas. Our world needs more of you. Without further ado, let's get started. San Francisco is, of course, famous for many things. Cable cars, the Golden Gate Bridge, 49ers, Alcatraz, Rice-A-Roni. But mostly, it is envied the world over as an incubator of innovation. More than 500 technology firms call this city home, and more, as many of you know, start up here every single day. A major reason for this is the welcome and support that the city itself gives to those who are willing to take big risks and think different. Tonight, it is my honor to introduce to you a man who is both a great friend to the technology community and the leader of this great city. Please welcome the 43rd Mayor of the City of San Francisco, Mr. Ed Lee.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Jim, for that introduction. Welcome to the 3rd Tech Awards in San Francisco, the City of Innovation. And I want to welcome you here. I'm excited to be here tonight. I understand there's some 20 awards, 100,000 each. Oh my gosh. I think there's going to be 21 awards. Ron, if I can let you know, I slipped in one nomination, and you might recognize it's called Too Legit to Quit, so it might be a no. Anyway, I want to thank the hosts here tonight, Tech Crunchies, which I think a little bit about over a year ago, they invited me to their media center, and they announced me as the first non-politician office holder. So I wanted to thank you for being a founder there. Founders Fund, thank you very much, Sean Parker. Thank you for being here tonight. And New Enterprises Associates, thank you for just being part of the host of this great event. I'm also very excited to hear all the nominees. So many of them are part of San Francisco-based companies, and I'm glad to see their names pop up. Jack Dorsey, Neil Roseman, David Friedberg, as well as Jeff Lawson. They're all great companies that are growing that I'm learning every week. I don't know if you know this, but part of my schedule every week is I get to visit a new technology company and just find out what's behind that name that I don't understand. Yammer was the last one I was in, trying to understand that. Lookout. And of course, I had a chance to Google, Branch Out, Square, all these other companies. And each time I've gone there, they've got wonderful questions for me. The employees as well as the CFOs and CEOs. And so I'm glad to understand what they're doing here, how they're building themselves up, what the recruitment is like, and then what we could do as a city to support your growing and your staying here in San Francisco. And I'm busy myself. I've got my own agenda, but the agendas that are forged with interactions with you and the dialogue that I'm having with you on a weekly basis. So it shouldn't surprise you that we began over a year ago in getting rid of the payroll tax on mid-market. And for those of you who don't want to be taxed as you're growing, that's a good sign. It's certainly a good sign when the mayor and the board can agree to that. Well, we're going to take it a little further. We're going to go beyond mid-market. We're going to change that whole payroll tax and eliminate it so that we can find a way to support this growing industry. In addition to that, we got rid of something citywide, and that was stock options tax. So we did a good thing there. Well, those two things allowed you to really open up the door and converse with us. And then we're taking a few more steps further. As you know, I'm just one mayor in a whole country of mayors. But guess what? The cities are where things are happening. And so at this last and my first U.S. Conference of Mayors that was held in D.C. just a few weeks ago, I had a chance to do a couple of things at your advice and your support. One was we announced the city of San Francisco, the first city to oppose PIPA and SOPA. That was impressive. We started dialoguing with these other cities who had blindly signed on to those things, not knowing what they were all about. Now we've got a conversation going that we can't use the excuse that just because we're trying to end piracy, that we then curtail innovation. And certainly coming from San Francisco, it means a lot to the other cities. Then I took advantage of our status. I went to the president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors and said, since we're innovating in San Francisco, why not allow us to have an audience with the rest of the mayors across the country? Could we create a task force? Well, they said, absolutely. The first task force on technology and innovation, I get the head for the U.S. Conference of Mayors. So when you innovate, and when I come on those Tuesdays and talk with you about what you're doing, I get to present those on an annual basis to the rest of the mayors in all of the United States. So if you're going to win tonight, that's the list that I'm going to start working from, is the winners of the Tech Fellow Awards, because I get to brag that comes out of San Francisco Awards, and then give you a national audience so that if by chance that your innovation would not only have the attraction of San Francisco, but it might have the attraction of the several hundred other mayors, the great mayors of all the other cities. So I got you that. That's the first one, and I'm going to be excited to introduce that on a yearly basis, and we get to start the first task force for the U.S. Conference of Mayors. We're already working on our portfolio for this year, and I want to tonight announce to you an exciting portfolio that I have, that my staff and I are going to be presenting, and tonight's the first announcement of our innovation portfolio for 2012. And it takes 3 parts to it. The first part is we're going to continue inviting you in to help us change the way we do government. And so engage San Francisco. That's first. And that is where we announced that something that we've done just during the budget time, when we asked our citizens to give us their best ideas, we're going to do that year-round. And we're going to make that to improve San Francisco year-round and engage you on a yearly basis so that your employees, you as tech companies, or citizens of San Francisco can give us their best ideas. So that's improve San Francisco year-round. So that's objective number one. Objective number two, we're going to change the business process in the city. And we're going to use your technological expertise to help us figure out how, when you start a business here, you've gone to probably 5 or 6 different agencies and challenge yourself with different bureaucracies, different fees, different strategies. How about putting that all online, centering it with all 5 or 6 different agencies so that you can go to one place, just get all your forms online, pay all your fees, understand the way business is done in the city in a much more collaborative way. That's easing the business challenge in our city. So that's going to be objective number 2. And then number 3, working with Code for America, we're going to hack our way into solutions. Whether it's taxis or it's Muni or some of the other things that we're challenged with. And guess what? This Saturday, I get to participate in our city's first hackathon in finding a solution to the dispatch of our taxis in the city. We're getting ready. We're getting ready for America's Cup. We're getting ready for all these great conventions that you'll be a part of. But we got to be able to at least get taxis to where people need them so they can get around the whole city. Well, that taxi dispatch has been plagued with Muni can't do this and taxis can't do that. Why not use our innovation, our spirit of innovation, our fearless ability to disrupt ourselves and get ourselves into a culture where we invite technology and hack away at this solution. And I think within days after that hackathon this Saturday, we'll have some solutions to getting taxis to wherever people need them at whatever time they need them. And that's how we figure out problems in San Francisco. So these 3 announcements is part of my 2012 objective in the innovation portfolio. I'm excited to announce those to you tonight. I'm excited for the 20 nominees tonight that will be winners. Great starts, great support for you, and you are listening to a mayor that's excited to work with you to make sure that we make life more convenient, more efficient, much richer with the information and the technology solutions you have. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Benedict. We begin tonight's ceremony.